So you've heard it before, people coming on and telling you they're burnt out, pissed off, heartbroken, have had some kind of emotional breakdown, and next year, 2019, is going to be different from 2018 or 2017, and here's why. And normally the reason for why it's going to be different is that they're going to spend more time on self-care and self-love and taking care of these mysterious mental breakdowns and emotional problems that YouTube alone causes them. And guess what? I'm here to tell you the exact opposite. In 2019, I want to work harder on YouTube than I ever have before. I'm here to tell you that I want to actually live up to a title I came up with, I don't know, a few months ago, but that's been kind of haunting me for years: active research and informed opinion. What I feel is lacking in both the mainstream media and on social media are exactly two things.
I've been talking to several different friends who have on this platform and on other platforms for social media, and I think we all sort of feel kind of overwhelmed and like we need to take a break. And I think that if so many of us are feeling that, that definitely says something about the line of work, and maybe not just all of us, but maybe what like society is encouraging.
Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. They are an incredible online therapy service that is not a suicide hotline replacement, but it is really, really helpful. YouTube is like a hotbed for creating mental health problems, I think.
I agree.
I think it's created a whole new set of problems that people have never even had before.
When I meet people, I want to make sure that I live up to their expectations. I do my YouTube voice, and I go, "Hi, I'm Elle Mills. Oh, it's so nice to meet you. Yeah. I hope you have a great day, done all this stuff." But like in normal day-to-day life, I just talk like this.
I know I have my Bobby Burns voice that I've done for forever.
I didn't even mean for it to happen. It just kind of happened.
One of the characteristics that really differentiates YouTube from any prior era of filmmaking or broadcasting is that the creators involved no longer blame the industry. They no longer blame bureaucracy, funding problems. They never blame a conspiracy of department heads or any of their superiors and decision makers. They blame the psychological stress of the art form itself. I don't know if this has ever really happened before on this scale. We're all familiar with the script at this point, right? We're all familiar with people coming on camera and telling you just how hard it is to talk about your feelings, just how hard it is to sit down in front of a computer and play make-believe, or even just how hard it is to film yourself cooking lunch and share it with the world.
I put in a lot of freaking work. I was working way more than a 40-hour work week. I was pretty much working 7 days a week from the moment I woke up to like the moment I went to bed.
In matters both shallow and profound, everyone wants to come on YouTube and take your money, get rich, get famous, and then have a mental breakdown, explain to you how difficult it was, sometimes even just to share like surveillance footage of themselves joking around in their own kitchen with evidently no research preparation, no other effort put into it other than that. I'm starting this video by telling you, YouTube is easy. YouTube, for me, over 1,000 videos, over 3.3 million views. In the last 5 years, YouTube has been the easiest thing I've had to do in my life. I managed to have this strange demi-monde level, micro-fame level success on YouTube, while at the same time being enrolled as a full-time student in university, having a full-time job as a university level instructor / teacher professor in China, learning Chinese, a language I didn't speak, read, or write at all when I started this YouTube channel that I speak, read, and write now, an incredibly difficult language to learn. There was a brief, tumultuous period in which I stopped learning Chinese and started learning Japanese. Some of you were here for that. At any given time during the history of this YouTube channel, I have been involved in 2 or possibly 3 court cases that were unbelievably emotionally draining, through legal machinations from my ex-wife or separated wife. I was prevented from seeing my daughter for such a long time that she forgot who I was. I was then reunited with her, and on day 1 of the reunion, she literally had no idea who I was. She actually remarked in my presence that it was really great meeting me, but it was sad that she still never got to see her real father. Surreal conversation to have. And then over a period of 2 years of meeting up with her again and again periodically, having to explain to her what her situation was in contrast to the fiction her biological mother was telling her. Incredibly heartrending, difficult life I've lived these past 5 years. I'm not even mentioning things like the fact my father died. Hey, we all got to die sometime. And he died of old age, which was in some ways kind to him and in some ways cruel. YouTube is easy. It's so beguilingly, so deceptively easy that it seems to me that almost nobody really makes an effort. And where does that matter? It doesn't matter that much in terms of weight loss, health, fitness, bikini try-on videos, lick your body challenge videos, taste test videos, cooking videos, restaurant review videos. That does not matter to me so much. But where I really see it, where it really hurts me, is when I look at the variety of what's available in terms of politics. So you've heard it before, you've heard it even within the intro to this video, clips from other channels, people coming on and telling you they're burnt out, pissed off, heartbroken, have had some kind of emotional breakdown, and next year, 2019, is going to be different from 2018 or 2017, and here's why. And normally the reason for why it's going to be different is that they're going to spend more time on self-care and self-love and taking care of these mysterious mental breakdowns and emotional problems that YouTube alone causes them. And guess what? I'm here to tell you the exact opposite. In 2019, I want to work harder on YouTube than I ever have before. I'm here to tell you that I want to actually live up to a title I came up with, I don't know, a few months ago, but that's been kind of haunting me for years. Active research and informed opinion. What I feel is lacking in both the mainstream media and on social media are exactly two things. Active research and informed opinion. Whether I'm looking at paid content from The Economist and Foreign Policy, or whether I'm looking at self-styled YouTube politics gurus like Jimmy Dore and the Young Turks across the whole political spectrum, most of what I see are knee-jerk reactions to headlines and to announcements from government officials, elected or otherwise. I don't see people engaged in active research. I don't see them presenting informed opinion. Most often, it's not just the voices that are loudest that are the least informed. I can tell you that after many, many years searching across the board, what I see is that the disappearance of advertising revenue from traditional journalism has resulted in an ever-lowering tide in both the quantity and quality of what's available, even in the English language. Obviously, it's going to be even more dire in minority languages. Right now, as 2019 begins, I don't know anywhere that I can go for really quality political analysis, even of what's going on in the United States, Canada, or Europe. And there is absolutely nowhere I can go for meaningful research and political analysis of what's going on in East Asia, in South Asia, in all of Asia, if I'm being honest and blunt. I remember marking my girlfriend a few days or weeks ago. When was the last time I saw a video that talked about what's happening in China and Japan that wasn't just narrowly focused on U.S. foreign policy and what President Trump had said, but that even took half a moment to say, talk about a political event in Japan, and then consider what India had to say about it, what the government of India said, what this meant from the point of view of Australia or France or Germany, but Japan, other players within Asia. That little bit of research, or presenting an informed opinion that says, hey, look, when you see this in the context of the last 50 years of history, here's something you might not have thought about. I don't see that quality of content anywhere, especially not in The Economist, especially not in Foreign Policy magazine.
A YouTube mask is just like how you would talk to a stranger. I was at like an event or something, how I would talk to them. I'm not gonna act like all stressed out and all this stuff, but it's the weird thing about YouTube. Sometimes I want to show that side of myself, but I'm showing that side of myself to strangers, and it's just like an odd thing when you meet these people in real life. This is my problem. I'm like exposing all this like shit about myself, this really deep shit that I don't even talk to my friends and family about. And then they start trying to talk to me about it in person, and I go, I don't know who you are. Why are we talking about this?
I want to wrap up this video with an anecdote that relates directly to the clip you've just seen. When I was in Chiang Mai at the start of the court case where I was threatened with violence, defamed, this guy said explicitly I was going to be stabbed, beaten up, dragged to a police station, and he defamed me in a way that really had very negative consequences the next several years of my life, maybe for the whole rest of my life. At the same time I was meeting people face to face, And I didn't realize how special this was. I was meeting people face to face who weren't just fans of my channel, or who didn't just know my channel. They were people who had the experience repeatedly of meeting YouTubers face to face after being familiar with their content for a while on the internet. And when they met me, what they said again and again, I think at least 4 times, like it felt like 10 times, but maybe it was just 3 or 4 times this happened. But people said this to me verbatim. People met me and said, wow, you act exactly the same in person as you do in your videos. And wow, you talk exactly the same in person as you do in your videos. At the time, of course, I felt nothing. I thought nothing of it. I didn't feel it was a big deal. Like, yeah, what did you expect? Do you expect like I'm playing a fictional character with a hand puppet and then you meet me and it's a different dude?
I do my YouTube voice and I go, hi, I'm Elle Mills. Oh, it's so nice to meet you. Yeah.
I have my Bobby Burns voice that I've done for forever.
I didn't even mean for it to happen. It just kind of happened.
This is exactly what these people have been talking about. Consciously or unconsciously, a lot of people start speaking as a fictional character. A lot of people start speaking through a mask, the YouTube mask, whatever you want to say. And that is exactly the source of a lot of these, feelings of dysphoria, feelings of depression, feelings that they've created, some kind of illusion they can't maintain, some kind of standard they can't live up to in their relationship with their audience. And my relationship with my audience has never had this kind of intermediary effect. I think everyone who meets me, everyone who talks to me on Skype, everyone who emails and gets an email back, everyone knows that they really are talking not to a fictional character, but to a person who's doing the best he can. I'm a person who now wants to take on the burden, not just of sharing autobiographical notes, not just of sharing, my free time when I'm not busy with full-time university studies, full-time jobs, full-time language learning, all the other things that distract me, and hey, part-time parenting. Let's face it, just had 7 days of custody with my daughter. Part-time indeed. Somebody who's actually taking it on as a bit of a public service to provide the active research and informed opinion that, from my perspective, in 2018, you're not going to get anywhere else on the internet.